So I wanted to just talk to the camera about sort of how my prep's going. I tried to film this earlier and it was over 20 minutes. So I've made some quick notes. I want to try and keep it under 10 realistically. And it's just like an open, honest opinion about how I'm finding prep and anything that I didn't really expect. So I think the first thing is I'm 20 weeks into a dieting phase. So you can probably see that I'm a little bit leaner around the face, and I didn't realize how long you needed to diet to get down to like stage ready. I didn't realize how lean like stage lean actually is. I'm by far the leanest I've ever been and probably got the best physique I've ever had, and which is awesome. But it's so easy to like become complacent now because I've never got this lean, never been this lean, and I'm really happy with how everything's going. But knowing I've got another 10 weeks ahead of me, and those 10 weeks are going to be harder than the 20 weeks that I've just had. So it's trying to get that mindset that I need to start or carry on working really. And I think it's also hard with a lot of people, like friends and people at the gym, saying, "Oh, Dan, you look good." I really appreciate all the positive comments, but looking good in a gym and looking good on a stage being compared to other people is going to be a huge difference. So I think coming into this, I didn't realize how much body fat I was probably holding. I was like 230 pounds before. I think that's like the heaviest I've ever been. That was a while back. I started in January, so 20 weeks back, and I was like 210, I think then, and now I'm down to 172 this morning. So I've lost a fair bit, but I've still got a lot more to lose. And that's one thing. I always used to be that guy, dress for the weather you want, not the weather you've got, in shorts and a vest. Now when I'm at work, I'm quite often wearing 2 jumpers and sometimes thermals underneath. Like, I am feeling the cold. The circulation in my hands when I'm getting my 10 to 15,000 steps in a day is like shit. So they're 2 things I've noticed. Another thing is my sleep is slowly becoming broken. Last night I had an awful night's sleep, which I don't know why, because my routine stayed the exact same. No caffeine after 3 p.m. Blue light blockers on at 8 p.m. 2 kiwis, ashwagandha, ZMA, casein. So everything in that routine is clinical, and it has been for 10 weeks. I set my routine early and I've stuck with it. So I don't know why, but I have been having a little bit of broken sleep. Oh, lavender pillow spray as well. With the sleep, when after about 5-6 weeks of dieting, I started waking up in the middle of the night for a piss, which I never used to. But as I've got leaner, my body's just flushing through water and I'm pissing a lot more. Sort of talking about toilet schedule, I've actually started tracking my poo as well, simply because although I don't like to be very numerical based in regards to the scales, it is a great way to track if we're moving in the right direction. And a couple of times the scales have been saying they're higher than expected, and that's simply because I hadn't passed the bowel movement that day or the day before. So I've got an app. I used to go like sort of twice a day sometimes. Now it's 5 to 6 times a week, and as I get leaner and leaner and pushing less food through me, and that's only going to become less and less really. So that's a nice topic to talk about, and something that I wasn't really expecting to have to track and worry, or I wouldn't say worry about, but track. Just making sure that I'm getting a load of fiber, so a load of fruit and veggies throughout the day, to try and keep it as consistent as possible. In regards to training, I think a lot of people, when they go into a dieting phase or deficit or whatever you want to call it, accept that they're going to get weaker and accept that they're going to regress. I've tried not to have that mentality. I've still been pushing numbers and maintaining or even progressing a lot of movements. I think it's just the dumbbell chest press where I just don't feel stable when pushing them really. So that's plateaued for a few weeks now. I do have a deload coming up this week, just because I've been pushing hard for a while now, so I'm feeling fairly fatigued. And again, with fatigue, one thing is I have a lot of my food around my training. I always work till 10 p.m, so I end up training normally at about 9 a.m, 10 a.m. So I have a lot of my food, a lot of my carbohydrates early morning around that period. So then for the next 10 hours, I'm quite low carb. So I've had a few people say that I'm a bit low energy in the evening, but I'm hungry in the evening as well. And I think that's something that I almost like. I don't know if that's a good relationship with food, but I like the fact that I am getting a bit hungry, because I'm like, yeah, I'm in a deficit. I'm digging into my fat storages. I know that I'm hungry. I know that I'm not fueling for optimal performance potentially, but that means that I'm probably having to dig deep into some of my fat storages. So probably not a healthy attitude to have, unfortunately. I'm aware of it. I've got control of it, I feel. And sort of talking about controlling food, obviously I've been dieting for 20 weeks now. This is my 21st week. I'm now down to 2,600 calories every day, apart from Saturday, Sunday, where I have my refeeds. That out of those 21 weeks, there's only been one day that I've not hit my macros or not hit my calories. So I'm very happy and very proud of that. Everything has been clinical. Like, I'm putting 100% into this, or at least I feel I am. There's always going to be someone outworking you. There's always going to be someone leading the pack. But the one time was I just went home for a family birthday, and we ordered in. I had it was basically like a Wagamama's katsu chicken curry. I tracked it afterwards, and I was like, shit, that was a lot more fat than I'd guesstimated. So I was about 200-300 calories over on that day. Didn't do any extra steps the next day, didn't over restrict the next day, just jumped straight back to it, and we're still cruising really within it. I've dropped to 2.6 last week, so this is my second week of 2.6, and the first few days I was very food focused, thinking, I've only got 2,600 calories, I want to push it as far as I can. But I've realized that's not the approach I need. That was me playing victim and telling myself I'm in a lot worse situation than I am. 2,600 calories for a lot of you potentially is quite a lot, but I'm used to a higher amount of food. So it's all relative. And I think that's something that you have to take into account. Like when you see people on YouTube smashing down 4,000, 5,000 calories, there's guys in my gym that are fucking huge. And they're in their prep, or arguably the first, second week of their prep, or fourth, I think, and they're still consuming over 4,000 calories, but it is all relative. For them, they're probably hungry. So that's how it is going. I think that one of the best things, if you are a novice bodybuilder and you're looking to prep, listening to 3DMJ's podcasts when I've been going out and getting steps has been eye-opening at times. Sort of, they've covered things that I've gone through, and saying that it's normal, sort of cravings, anything like that, food focus. They talk about poo, they talk about everything. So there's a few very good podcasts, and I'm learning a huge amount about it. 10 weeks to go. I think we're in a good place. Just don't get complacent, keep on pushing. Definitely didn't understand how lean and how tired I was going to get. I am relying a lot on caffeine. Normally probably 600 to 700 milligrams a day, which is again probably a lot for a lot of people, but for me, it works. I like it. I like the taste of coffee and Monsters. There's a few other things I could probably talk about, but we'll save them for the next one, as we are coming up for 10 minutes and I didn't want these to be too long. So all in all, 10 weeks out, feeling a little tired, but we could be in a lot worse position. We're not having to dig too deep yet. No cardio added, just 15,000 steps every day. Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you're still around, please like, share, subscribe. I do appreciate you all. 10 weeks to go, baby.